Let's get going, shall we? And we'll do it. All right, a couple more seconds, I'll wait. Because I bet Victor normally comes a little bit late, so I think we should get started. Otherwise, I'm going to be dragging you guys. All right, so let's just settle into our meditation posture. Feet flat on the floor. If you're down on the, sorry, start again. If your feet on the ground, make sure they're in a parallel position. You can put a little cushion underneath them. Other than that, if they're in the regular cross-legged position, just make sure you're comfortable. You can sit here comfortably without having to, move around for the next 30 minutes. So if that means you need to put a couple of cushions underneath either knee, you can do that. And also I would most definitely suggest you sit on a reasonably firm surface with something to raise your sit bones, your coccyx. And that helps to straighten the spine. Otherwise you'll be sinking back over your sacrum. So make sure your sacrum is upright. And then the shoulders are aligned with the hips, and the ears are aligned with the shoulders. Hands are in the meditation mudra. Right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. And now imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head. And just lengthen the spine. You can just imagine someone standing above you or behind you very gently, lengthening that light string of pearls. And imagine this top of your head, the scalp is heading towards the ceiling. Your head is slightly tipped forward. Eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose, tip of the tongue and the roof of the mouth. And just relax the jaw. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Now bring your attention to the crown of your head and just relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes, nose, cheeks, and that area around the mouth. And bring your attention to the back of the scalp and relax the scalp there. Now relax your ears and the inner ear. And the jaw again and the temples. Now bring your attention to the back of the neck and the shoulder area. And your shoulder blades, your angel wings. Just try and relax them. And in between, the upper thoracic. Just kind of visually make your way down your spine and just imagine letting go tension. It's actually quite difficult to feel. Now bring your attention to your throat. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly, arms, hands and fingers, and the legs and the feet and the toes. Let's just bring the mind to the breath. Noticing the sensation of the cool air as you're breathing in, slightly warmer air flowing out through the nostrils. If there are any sounds in your external environment, you just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to have the mind run off and investigate. And there may be thoughts arising, abiding and falling. Maybe events of today. Maybe you've got something happening over the weekend. Holidays, storms. So just allow the thoughts to arise and abide and fall. Try not to engage or cling on, following a story. And now just bring to mind the people of your life, your loved ones, your supporters, the ones who don't support you, and the strangers, and just remember they're all the same in their wish for happiness, not being able to find it, their wish to avoid suffering and constantly encountering it, and this incredible capacity for enlightenment. So bring them to mind, and by extension all sentient beings, and maybe think particularly of the people caught up in the storms there in New Mexico, Kentucky, people who nowhere have, right now don't really have a place to live. So just think of these people and think we'll do this practice on their behalf, purification practice, because they don't know how to do it. They probably don't have a way to be able to access these kinds of practices. So we do it for them, with them in mind. And for ourselves. So just bring to mind, as we do the first of the 4 opponent powers, something that may have happened to you, or something that you did that's caused you to regret. Remembering that regret is not the same as feeling guilty about something, it's just taking responsibility. And we think the reason to regret is based on the logic of karma, and given that we experience everything due to our past actions, our past karma, having harmed others, we will necessarily experience harm ourselves in the future, suffering, problems. And given that we understand what problems are all about, we don't really want to invite any more. So the logic therefore is to pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us, and think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm just really, because a lot of us accept suffering, so we don't have to have it. Just I'm sick of suffering. And we regret our delusions, and this is the anger, the attachment and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. So think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? And here is where we come to the power of reliance. So we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're asking Buddha to forgive us. We purify ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine that Guru Vajrasattva is above the crown of your head. And you can imagine this is the mind of your teacher, your Lama, the one who inspires your mind towards the Dharma. You imagine this is the mind of this person manifesting in this form completely for your benefit. And he's made of this radiant, blissful white light, sitting in a cross-legged position on a white lotus. And he has this beautiful, radiant face and lotus-like eyes, and they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and for all the people of your life. has this sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. He has a 5-pointed crown encrusted in jewels. And he has earrings with jewels and bracelets, anklets, and necklace. And he's wearing these flowing silks and scarves and this beautiful kind of outfit in this Royal Indian style. It's all floating in the wind and it's all made of light. You can put some jewels in there as well if you like, diamonds, pearls. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, and the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I am enlightened by this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva. May I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we have this little section on developing compassion here. So in order to develop compassion, actually we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we have harmed and who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. And while it's probably easier to develop compassion for the people that we have harmed, it may not be quite so easy to develop compassion for the people who have harmed us. But just to remember that because of the suffering that they've caused us, they're going to experience probably even more suffering in the future. So we can feel compassion towards them because of that. So we make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings. And think, I must purify for their sake. And now we come to the remedy. And this is the medicine, the actual doing of the practice of purification. And so we start by purifying the body. And imagine Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar. It's kind of like coming out of, very forcefully coming out of a hose perhaps, or a shower head, or even Niagara Falls. From his heart, it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you, and then it just kind of forces out, flushes out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of this inky black liquid. And it disappears into space, not one atom left. As we recite the mantra, Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutame Sidam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutame Sidam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutame Sidam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutame Sidam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutame Sidam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Ahum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida mebawa, sutokaya mebawa, supokaya mebawa, anarakta mebawa, sawasidi mepiyata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuruhum, ha 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 ho, bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dida mebawa, sutokaya mebawa, supokaya mebawa, anarakta mebawa, sawasidi mepiyata sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuruhum, ha 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 ho, bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body is completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but be of benefit to others now with your body. So next is the purification of the speech. And again, Guru Vajrasattva very happily, very compassionately sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top part of your body all the negativity of your speech, and it just overflows and flushes out, disappears into space, not one atom left. All the gossip, the harsh speech, useless speech, and lying, talking badly about others behind their backs. And all this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa sapakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mepiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mepiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mepiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mepiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mepiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mepiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita Dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mepiyata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahum pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine that it's not possible to do anything other than be of benefit now to others with your speech. So the next is the purification of the mind. And imagine Guru Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So just imagine the same as when you walk into a room and you just switch on a light, and that light instantly dispels the darkness in the room. The moment the light from Guru Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart, touches your heart, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment and neediness, grasping, anxiety, depression and anger and jealousy and bitterness and grudges, feelings of insecurity, not feeling enough, all instantly dispelled, not one atom left, as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, rejoice, feel totally delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of your own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified and they're gone. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So finally is the purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. So as we always do, you can either imagine the previous 3 visualizations of the body, speech and mind, or you can visualize light and nectar pouring into you from Guru Vajrasattva's heart. And the moment it touches you, imagine it's filling you and completely eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Sipokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A hum pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mepe yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva aham pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mepe yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva aham pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mepe yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva aham pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mepe yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva aham pe. Om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita. Dira mebawa sutokaya mebawa supakaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasidi mepe yata sawa kama sutta me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa maha samaya sattva aham pe. So really try and feel that you're completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So next is the power of resolve. And it's a really, really important step. It's just so we make a decision to try not to harm with our body and our speech and our mind. And when we're harming with our mind, we're usually saying negative things to ourselves. We're usually feeling all this kind of bitterness towards others. It just poisons us. This anger, attachment's the same. So maybe we try and not to. If there's something that you have a habit to do, maybe there's some delusion that you are constantly having, or maybe you're making up stories in your mind about something, it'd be good to catch yourself and say, okay, so I'm not going to think about this, or I'm not going to make a story up about this for 5 seconds, 60 seconds, or I'm not going to talk about so-and-so behind their back for the 8 hours that I'm sleeping tonight. So just think of something now to work on just this evening. And just make a determination, have a decision. Just keep in your mind you would like to start to refrain from these negativities of the body, speech and mind. We don't have so much catch up to do then. And even this, what we're doing now is to make a determination, even an attempt to try and become aware of our negativities and counteract them. It's purification itself. Regret is purification in itself. So really, really rejoice. So next, Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind. He melts into light, white light, and absorbs into you through your crown. And think my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE would call this union oneness. And Lama Zopa Rinpoche recommends next to meditate on the emptiness of the 3 circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a moment. Just meditate for a wee moment. We can think that all phenomena are empty, they do not exist from their own side. Maybe we can think to ourselves that perhaps things don't exist the way they appear to us. Perhaps things don't exist the way we perceive them, the way we think they do. This helps to sort of start to cut through our concrete view of the world, our belief in our own opinions about things and others, which sometimes aren't always correct. So let's dedicate the merit, all the positive energy we've created by doing this purification practice, to all those people in our life, all the people in the paths of the storms who are now struggling for shelter and warmth and privacy, food, things, for all the people who are suffering from coronavirus, economic disruptions, travel disruptions, familial disruptions. Just think of all these people, dedicate this practice for them. And may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings as quickly as possible. So for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honouring the three jewels, saviour of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Sherab, beloved teacher leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. There we are, gone like a dream. Thank you so much, everyone. So just remember, any benefit that you are receiving from doing this practice, ooh, that's weird, is your own hard work. So I rejoice. Thank you so much, everybody. I love doing this practice with you. Do take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe and warm. And I look forward to seeing you Monday evening. So exciting. I see you so much. It's great.
Cool.